Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. So fun video today. I am doing an order to SGC that will go in the mail. And so that will be fun. But the big news is that if you ever watch this channel, you know that it is very lo-fi. I don't do any editing or anything like that. I probably should. So what's fun about today, major technological breakthrough. I'm going to film now the preview, and then I will put it together for all of you with the reveal. So big deal for this humble little channel. We'll see if it works. Okay, so the reason I'm doing an SGC order is SGC is doing a football special. $15 flat fee for any card any year. So I've got 5 cards to show you. 3 of them from the 1980s, 2 of them from the 1950s. So let's get started with the first card. And this is a card from my childhood and a player from my childhood that I always loved, Eric Dickerson. And this is the 84 Topps rookie. And pretty nice looking back. And there's Dickerson, nice image. And he's got the rec specs. I like the colors on this. Just a very cool card. I had this complete set when I was a kid, like from Topps complete set. And I didn't really write down potential grades, although I can kind of talk through it now. But I can tell you that this was a crack out. And so this was in a Beckett holder, and the flip was actually loose in the holder and kind of sliding around and so on. So it was an 8 for Beckett, and there's the detail. So 8 centering, 9.5 edges, really good. Corners, really good. 9.5 surface, and 8. So we shall see. I'm not sure what SGC will give it. I think I'll be happy with an 8, and it will just live in my PC and so on. So I don't think it's a 7.5 or a 7. I don't think it'll get downgraded, but I guess we'll find out on this reveal. So I'll put Dickerson right there. Boy, I'll tell you, cards look good in Card Saver 1s. Just kind of, you really see the card well and so on. So it's fun filming this. All right. Up next is another card that I love. Not a rookie card, but a second-year card. And that's the 1983 Topps Lawrence Taylor. I don't have the 82 rookie yet. I love 82 Topps football. It's my favorite football set ever. Although I really like 1983, and I love that they added this Pro Bowl trim for players. So this is Lawrence Taylor, the great linebacker, menacing defensive player. We all know the story about Joe Theismann and so on, but Taylor, just an incredible game-changing player. So I just thought this was a pretty good example, and I thought it looked pretty nice. One of these, the bottom edge, and I think it's this one, that isn't great. We'll see. Not really sure what will happen. This was a crack out as well, and it was in a GMA holder. And it was an 8.5, near mint. And GMA, in my experience, and probably yours, is prone to kind of overgrading, but we'll see. I don't know. There's a fisheye here, which you can kind of see. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one. It's a real roll of the dice, but I mean, I think this card is probably a 7. It's hard to know. That would be my guess. So we'll say 8 on the Dickerson, 7 on this Lawrence Taylor. Up next is another Lawrence Taylor, and I think this one is sharper. This was not the crack out, so we'll see what happens. Maybe this one's an 8. This doesn't have the fish eyes. I don't think the centering is actually as good on this one. You can see it's a little thinner on this side, but just a pretty card. So again, who knows? It's going to be fun. That's going to be the cool part about this reveal. And so I think one of the Taylors obviously is better than the other. And again, my guess is Dickerson 8, one Taylor an 8, one Taylor a 7. Who knows? Let me show you the next card, and that is, and I'm going into it knowing that this one has a couple of flaws. This is a 1959 Topps Y.A. Tittle, Hall of Famer. I saw this card at a card show, not this exact card, but this card, and I just thought, wow, I really wanted this card. And it was a nice looking card at the show, maybe about this condition, but it was overpriced, it seemed, and so I just was patient, and I looked online and ended up getting one, I think on ComC, and I think this is the one. So patience paid off on getting this card that I wanted. So here's the Y.A. Tittle. The problem with this one, and I'm not sure that it's going to show up here, but it's got a kind of pushed corner. So I'm not sure. And it's not really showing on this one. And part of why I'm figuring it out is because I have two of these. And I actually think this one is going to be the one that grades higher, but now I can't tell which one's got. One of these has got a pushed corner in the upper right, and neither of them are showing up. The card saver really is making the cards present well. So I've got two examples of this. I do think, like the Lawrence Taylors, one of these will score better than the other. I just have a sense that one could be a real nice, pleasant surprise, and one could just get really beat up. So I think we could go all the way from a 2.5 to a 7 on these two cards. And we'll just have to see. This one's got a fisheye right here. But one is definitely brighter than the other. So I guess we'll have to find out. So that is the preview. Those are the 5 cards, and through the magic of editing, fingers crossed I get it to work, I'll be back in a second, and I'll show you the reveal. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hey guys, welcome back. So here we are. We did it. If you're watching this, it worked. And I was able to get this edited and spliced together, so a big breakthrough for Greenville gear. So let's get into the reveal, and I'll show you these cards and how they came back. Typical SGC on the football special order, they came back in 5-6 business days. I mean, SGC just continues to kill it. Let me show you the first card. If you recall from the preview, it's this 84 Topps Eric Dickerson rookie that was previously in a Beckett slab as a Beckett 8. And it looked like that to me, but I just thought I would get it resubmitted for consistency in my collection. And it came back in the SGC slab, as you see here, and it came back in an SGC 8. So it was an experiment that didn't really go anywhere. And it came back in the SGC slab, which I do prefer for my collection, so I wasn't too upset by that. Would have been nice to get an 8.5 or something like that, but an 8 is good on the Dickerson rookie. Just love this card. I love the rec specs. I love the colors. I love this set. It's nostalgic for me. I bought this set as a factory set, not with this card in it, but an earlier iteration. I got it as a kid for Christmas or something. And so just a neat card for me and pretty iconic. So again, the SGC 8 on the Dickerson rookie. And so we'll put him there. Overall, though, as you'll see in just a minute on these Lawrence Taylors and the Y.A. Tittles, I did a little better than I anticipated. So the Dickerson was kind of a push. But let's get to the Lawrence Taylors. The first one is the one that had the fisheye, and was the one that I thought would not do as well. And it was also the one that was the crack out from a GMA slab, which generally you tend to do a little worse than GMA when you submit to PSA or SGC. At least that's been my experience. So I think I predicted this one as coming back as an SGC 7. This was the one that just wasn't as clean. And then I thought the second one will be a little better. So again, was a GMA 8.5. I predicted a 7, and it got a 9. So that was a really, really pleasant surprise. Again, I thought we were looking at maybe a 7, and we got a 9, which is really fun. So there's the Lawrence Taylor. Get the glare out of there. The first one, anyway, out of the GMA slab. And I cracked that out. So it went from a GMA 8.5 to an SGC 9. So the second Lawrence Taylor I was a little higher on, as you recall from the preview. I thought this second one would do better than the first one. I thought that GMA was going to be a 7, maybe an 8, and it got a 9. So this is the second 1983 Topps Lawrence Taylor. I love this card. I love the Pro Bowl indication that they put on this set for Pro Bowl players. I just think that's so cool. So this is the one that I thought was better than the 9 that I just showed you, and this got a 9. So 2 9s on the 1983 Lawrence Taylors. Happy about that. Can't complain. Now let me show you the last 2 cards, which are the more vintage card. This is the 1959 Topps YA Tittle, and I had 2 examples of this that I sent off to SGC, and the one I was convinced was lower, and one I thought was higher. And that did turn out, though not as I kind of predicted. Here's the first one. And this one is the one I think with that pushed corner that was a little elusive on the video. It's also got some wear here. You can see where that's lighter on the green. And I remember saying that I thought maybe this would be a total disaster, maybe as low as a 2.5. Really didn't know how this one was going to go. It was very unpredictable, and it came back an SGC 5. Excellent. So really pleased with that. I think it did better than I expected. It's just a neat vintage card of a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I just like the card a lot. So that was the first Tittle. Overperformed a little bit in the grade, which was a pleasant surprise with the SGC 5. And here is the second one, and I knew this one was better. I think on the preview I may have even indicated that it could go, again, unpredictable, but I thought maybe edging out the other one for sure, but maybe as high as a 7. Well, it didn't get a 7. It got a 6. So an excellent near mint. This one is the cleaner copy. This is the one I will keep for my PC. I will probably list the SGC 5 in order to afford me to buy more cards or pay for more submissions and those kinds of things, which is how I hobby. So the YA Tittle comes back as an SGC 6, and I'm pleased as punch to have that one in my collection. And again, not a huge disparity between the two, but as I looked them over, this one just had that little bit of wear. It does have a fisheye right down here where my thumb is. I don't know if you can see that, kind of right above the Y. And this one's just a little cleaner, and I think warrants the 6. So there it is. Thanks for watching my SGC football review and reveal, and I'm happy that SGC ran this special. And it was really fun to do my first ever video on the channel where I actually spliced together the preview and the reveal. That was cool to do. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.